who had died around a year earlier. Biss was unhappy about this and traveled to Deptford, where he and the CP members began to fight. Sadly, during this fight, Biss sustained at least 9 wounds to the head, back and chest, sadly dying on the scene. 2 defendants were arrested days later and have since been...
What did you go for? I wonder if you know, if you see me in Tokyo. If you see me, then you mean it, then you know you have to go. Welcome back to another rendition of AZ Reacts. Welcome back to the channel. Everybody that's tuning in with your boy. Welcome back. We back on track with another versus. Gangland. Y'all remember that? When I used to come on Gangland. Once upon a time type shit. In a small neighborhood called type shit. But this the rise and fall of the Harlem Spartans. Harlem. You got the Harleys and the Marleys. Now, I don't know exactly who these guys are, who the participation is from, but that's what we here to learn today. We here to learn the back end of the starter, or where we at right now. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see another versus reaction. If you got some games that you want to tap into, you're a part of, whatever the case may be, you know, some information about some stuff, let me know something. Tap into your boy, DM your boy, give your boy some information. So these videos can be a little more exciting, a little more intrusive. But you already know what to do. Drop that cheese down in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. Even if you don't like the video anyway, sub to the channel. Turn the notification bell on for your boy. Let's get straight into the reaction. I ain't even got my headphones on. I ain't got no panties on. Ain't got no panties on. I ain't got no panties on.
Around 15,000 people, Kennington is a district located within the London borough of Lambeth, South London. It has long been known as one of the better and safer areas. Now, today we are traveling to Kennington, home to around 15,000 people. Kennington is a district located within the London borough of Lambeth, South London. It has long been known as one of the better and safer areas within South London. In recent years, however, the area has actually become the front of a viral drill movement that saw young rappers from certain estates within Kennington beginning to rap and release tracks that garnered worldwide attention. If you are a UK drill listener, then I'm sure you know exactly who I am referring to, this being the Harlem Spartans, who, in 2016, up until 2019, had hundreds of thousands of people in and outside the UK singing their viral UK drill songs, disrespecting their rivals, and portraying the harsh realities of growing up.
Shit. I think that more than anything is the worst part about having a diss song that blow up. It's because you got regular human being, 9 to 5, go to work, jolly ass motherfuckers singing, dissing your homeboy, dissing you know what I mean? They ain't got shit to do with it. Kids. Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? I don't even know who Baka is, and I don't like that nigga. I don't want Baka around my kids. He got a weird case. I don't want him around. But you know what I mean? I think that more than anything is the worst thing about diss songs, because obviously you're gonna get dissed. Obviously, you know what I mean, they're gonna take it as far as they possibly can, you know what I mean? Especially depending on who you're going into with, you know what I mean? Just the stuff that you got there out online about yourself. If you really don't got nothing out there about yourself online, then it's harder for motherfuckers to diss. But if you got all your information out there online, then you know what I mean, they can, as long as you got a great artist, they can mix and master whatever they want to and play with your life at that point. So that's just the real cons of having a diss out there that everybody is enjoying. Not like us was a fucking head knocker, bro. There was no reason why you got kids, teachers, bus drivers, every single person that you could think of, bro, singing this song, dissing real live human beings, bro. People that go on they every day, that people, it's people that actually know these people. You get what I'm saying? That heard this song, that actually know these people. That's like, damn, bro, like that, yeah, like that.
Kennington's most dangerous areas. The Harlem Spartans garnered so much attention, in fact. They had even caught the attention of the Canadian musician Drake, who was eager to hear more. Nowadays, however, the group has faded out of relevance, this subsequently being due to the key members of the Harlem Spartans finding themselves on the other side of the law, as well as some members even going on to lose their life as a result of the ongoing gang feuds in South London, with the rappers associated often being remembered as some of, if not the greatest UK drill rappers to have ever come out of the country. But you may be wondering how it was possible for a group of teens to have risen to the top of the UK drill scene, only to fall out of...
If y'all want to see, I ain't heard that song, I don't think. Kennington, Where It Started. If y'all want to tune into that song, 10 likes and we gonna turn it up. Drop the cheese down in the comments. Like the video, subs to the channel. We gonna turn it up. Kennington, Where It Started. Let's do it.
Relevance in a matter of years. Before I start this video, however, YouTube says only 5% of you are subscribed, so if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe as it helps out the channel, but without further ado, sit back and enjoy this video. Now, Harlem is a large street gang based around Kennington, SE17 and SE11, more specifically the areas Kennington Park, Penwith Manor, and Kennings Estates. The gang is also known as Harlem O, as well as Harlem Spartans, which they have since popularized. It's believed that the name Harlem refers to money, whilst Spartans refers to violence, these two meanings being the subject of multiple Harlem songs, example being Money and Violence by Biss and Zico. Within this they rapped, Harlem for money, Spartans we step out and do up your bad man brother. Anyways, the Harlem gang has a rivalry with Zone 2 from Peckham, 150 from Brixton, and most prominently 410 also from Brixton, whilst they are affiliated with Moscow 17, Sirac, and most heavily with nearby Cuckoo from Black Prince, with some Harlem members dual repping Cuckoo. Around 2014, the Harlem Spartans gang would emerge predominantly from the area of Kennington. The gang was quick to start releasing UK drill songs on platforms like Pac-Man TV as well as Press Play Media. In October 2015, two rappers hailing from the Harlem Spartans collective, being YS and Blanco, would release a track titled 3000 Savage. The duo then followed this up in January 2016 with the release titled Shit Den, which has since garnered around 350,000 views. This rapping duo weren't the only rappers for Harlem Spartans, and only a few months following the release of Shit Den, Lowski dropped his breakout track titled Hazards in June 2016.
Sheesh. 11 M's? Y'all want to tap into that, like the video. 11 M's on a breakout? Sheesh. That was the breakout for sure.
10 million views. Lowski then released a track titled DJ Khaled in August 2016. This track featuring another Harlem rapper known as Mizormak. DJ Khaled also garnered around 10 million views. Unfortunately, however, following this release, Lowski would find himself on the other side of the law, allegedly as a result of firearm offenses, this seeing him being taken off the roads, eventually being fresh home in 2017 where he continued his music career. In September 2016, Harlem rapper Mizormak and TG Million released a track titled Harlem Style, currently sitting on just under 2 million views. Following this, at the end of 2016, Harlem rappers Biss, Zico, and Mizormak dropped a song titled Harlem's Realist. This track currently sitting on around 2.3 million views. The views gained in 2016 by Harlem Spartans was insane. However, when 2017 would begin, the Harlem Collective released one of their biggest songs to date, this being Kennington Where It Started. Again,
He ain't in the game, bro.
one of their biggest songs to date.
That's one of the. This is a. You can't tell if this nigga don't look like a model or something. This nigga, he's supposed to be getting you dressed or something. This nigga out here fighting for people's lives and shit. Knives people. That'd be the thing about these people out here, bro, in England and the UK. A lot of they ass don't look like they really like that, but they. You know what I mean? Looks can be deceiving.
In this song, Blanco went on to call for the freeing of his friends, as well as fellow Harlem Spartans members. He rapped, Free D1, Real Crooks Man. That was really Phineas Trap. Free TY, Free Low Ski Loose Snow. ST, Free Sav, Free G Smarko, T-Trap. This song instantly blew up within the UK drill scene, currently sitting on just over 25 million views, with the Canadian superstar Drake even going on to post the lyrics of Biss's verse on his Snapchat. This being when Biss rapped, Question, if gang pull up, are you gonna back your brethren? Unfortunately, however, Miz or Mac and Blanco would be seeing the success gained by the track Behind Cell Doors, as only 1 month later, in February 2017, both rappers went on to be arrested in a pretty serious case. On the 15th of February...
That'd be the thing though, bro, when people don't let their emotion rise, bro. Hey, some motion is better than no motion. Come on, man. Take your time, bro. Come on, brother. You can't be out here willy-nilly. Let that career take off first. You know what I mean? Then, you know what I mean? You waver that line, bro. You can't But you know what I mean? Niggas be out here playing both sides, not knowing how to, you know what I mean, play the game for real. So to each his own. Everybody get what they deserve. Everybody get what's coming to them. So it is what it is. Let's see what's going on.
2017, just a month after releasing the Kennington Where It Started song, both Miz or Mac as well as Blanco would be traveling around looking for rivals in a car. The car was stopped by armed police, and Blanco was found with a loaded gun, as well as a samurai sword that he had attempted to conceal.
Sheesh, a samurai sword? He tried to conceal a samurai sword, bro. This is what I'm talking about. A nigga walk up to you with one of them things. This is just the sword part. That's it. He still got the handle. Some motherfucker sling a samurai sword. Come on, man.
And a balaclava. A year later, in February 2000,
balaclava.
Miz or Mac was sentenced to 6 years, whilst Blanco was sentenced to 3.5 years. It's rumored that the pair attempted to ride out onto rival M Block members from Stockwell, after Stockwell members had allegedly attacked Miz or Mac. Shortly after this, TG Million, who was also a Harlem Spartans rapper, would find himself on the other side of the law. In 2017, TG Million would be in a car when he noticed a rival from the 410 gang, who were also making noise in the UK drill scene, with rappers like AM and Skengdo. Anyways, TG Million began to chase the rival in the car, eventually colliding with the 410 member, before TG then jumped out, stabbing the rival multiple times. Fleeing seconds later, the 410 member was rushed to hospital and nearly died. However, he luckily survived. TG Million was then arrested and charged, eventually being given 12 years for the incident. In June 2017, Lowski was released from prison, getting straight back into the UK drill scene, dropping the track titled Teddy Bruckshot in July 2017, following this up with his hit track Money and Beef in October 2017, this title possibly being a reference to the name Harlem Spartans. Anyways, Money and Beef gained a massive amount of attention, especially from Drake, who actually sung the song at Lowski's 2019 show in London. Lowski was also co-signed by both Stormzy and Drake, which is insane for a UK drill rapper.
Sound like it, bro.
The rise of Harlem's main rivals,
Stormzy and Drake
doing numbers in the UK drill scene, with AM and Skengdo releasing tracks like Macaroni, Crash and They're Mad About Bars, all gaining millions of views, often sending and replying to disses from the Harlem Spartans. Lowski released the track Intro in January 2018, following this up with his album Call Me Loose in April 2018, which was well received by UK drill fans. Another rapper from the Harlem Spartans gang was also beginning to make noise, this being SA or Lats, who had previewed a track titled Most Wanted Tugs in July 2018, as well as even having a song with Miz or Mac, who was in jail at the time. Sadly, however, what fans weren't expecting was that in the months following the release of Lowski's album Call Me Loose in 2018, the start of the Harlem Spartans' downfall had begun. This downfall beginning following the death of one of Harlem's most loved members, this being SA or Lats.
Here we go. Now y'all done seen the turnout. Y'all done seen the millions of views. Y'all done seen the hit song after hit song after hit song. Y'all done seen them boys and, you know what I mean, and they got motion. They got real motion over there. They got a couple real hitters, couple real hit songs, and a couple real drillers. So now it's time to take the turn for the worse. Like the video if you like the video. If you made it this far in the video, sub to the channel. Drop the cheese down in the comments. Let's get back into it.
On the 25th of July 2018, Lats from Harlem Spartans and a member of Moscow 17 known as Mimes would ride out onto rival 150 territory. The members would be armed with a gun. Upon reaching the territory belonging to 150, Lats would spot a rival member known as J. He would attempt to shoot him. However, the gun jammed. J would then run toward Lats and...
That right there is the luck of God. The luck of God has to be behind you. For a nigga to run up on you and his gun jam, bro, nobody but God is with you. Sorry.
Multiple times. Mimes would then drive off with Lats on the back of the moped. Mimes would be trying to take Lats to a nearby hospital. However, Lats would be in and out of consciousness and eventually would pass out on the back of the bike. This is when Mimes would supposedly push Lats off the back of the moped and would shout to nearby civilians, telling them to get him to hospital. Sadly, however, Lats was pronounced dead moments later. With a...
Hold on. Why he say that? Hold on. It's... Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Situation like that is the worst, bro. Because it's understandable, bro. But it's like, damn, gosh. If you gotta do all of that, bro. You gotta stay out that life, bro. You can't even help your homie to the hospital because you gotta run from 12, bro. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. What type of life is this?
Murder investigation days later. It was thought that would be arrested for the murder, but would have the charges dropped on the basis of self-defense. Rest in peace, Latz. The loss of Latz was what many believed to be the beginning of Harlem's downfall, as he was loved by all members. The murder of Latz also caused some in-house rivalry between both Moscow 17 and Harlem Spartans. However, since, it's believed both sides have become affiliated once again, with Incognito even posting after his passing, taking to Snapchat writing that he was invited on the ride out and should have went with. Sadly, however, just a week later, Incognito himself would also be killed, just adding to the pain felt by both Moscow 17 members as well as Harlem members. Following the death of Latz, his track Most Wanted Tugs was released, with everyone paying tribute to him, as he really had potential to be one of Harlem's biggest rappers. At some point in 2018, Blanco from the Harlem Spartans was released from prison, going on to release a track titled Return of the Born. Around this time, Drills from Harlem Spartans began to release music, dropping his breakout track Certified, which featured Harlem rappers LM and Splash. This song actually garnered quite a bit of attention, currently sitting on around 6 million views. This factor only pushed On Drills, who only days later released Youngest and Baddest, featuring LM, both songs gaining millions of views. However, it is believed that On Drills would be in jail from 2019 onward, taking another one of Harlem's biggest rappers off the streets. Now, 2019 would roll around, and would prove to be one of the least consistent years for the Harlem Spartans, with Low Ski continuing to release every now and then. However, in April 2019, he would find himself on the other side of the law, fighting a pretty serious firearm charge. On the 9th of April 2019, Low Ski would be traveling to Willesden in an Uber, booked under a false name. It's believed he was traveling to Willesden to be questioned over the death of his close friend S.A. or Latz. Whilst in the Uber, the police would stop the car and search Low Ski, who was originally found with nothing, before police found a revolver and a sock by the front passenger seat. Low Ski was arrested on the scene and was charged with possession of a firearm, intent to endanger life, and possession of ammunition. Now, his first trial resulted in a retrial.
Intent to endanger life? I ain't gonna lie, the way that they like they crimes and stuff like that, the actual charges over there is crazy. But it's like the actual literal it's funny because it's the actual literal like terms of the shit. Like attempted murder, attempted harming of an individual. That's like the actual like literal definition of the shit. That's hilarious.
Whilst the second trial resulted in a
if my screen moving, bro, it's because I'm trying to fucking fix this shit.
To 7 years on the 5th of January 2023. And I'm sure you probably know, Low Ski was released from prison on the 30th of September 2024, where he has since returned to the UK drill scene. Now, whilst fighting this charge, the remaining Harlem Spartans members continued to make music, these including Blanco, On Drills, SD, and most prominently Biss, who released a track titled 3 My Drilla in September 2019. Within this song, he called for the freeing of his friend Scratcha, who was sentenced to 10 years after being caught with a shotgun in November 2018, this once again being a loss for the Harlem Spartans, as Scratcha was also a rapper. Sadly, however, the biggest loss for the Harlem Spartans was only around the corner, as in December 2019, they would lose their biggest and most prominent rapper at the time, as a result of the endless violence in London's streets. On the 6th of December 2019, 20-year-old Crosslawn Davis, or Biss, would be filming the music video to his upcoming track titled Beretta outside of London. When traveling back to London, Biss was phoned by members of another South London gang known as CP, or Catch Pagans, as well as Crofton Park. Whilst on the phone, the CP members began to disrespect Latz, who had died around a year earlier. Biss was unhappy about this, and traveled to Deptford where he and the CP members began to fight. Sadly, during this fight, Biss sustained at least 9 wounds to the head, back and chest, sadly dying on the scene. 2 defendants were arrested days later, and have since been...
What'd you go for? What'd you bring to this fight? I hope you didn't just bring your damn hands to this damn knife fight. Because you know they not coming bare knuckles.
Rest in peace, Biss.
Come on, man.
Most of Harlem Spartans were off the road and weren't making music, as Biss was really the last rapper putting on for the Harlem Spartans collective. As around this time, many of the members were either jailed for drug offenses or violence. An example being Wiz from Harlem, who in 2020 was arrested and sentenced to 4 years, after allegedly being the driver in a case of attempted murder, targeting a rival 150 member. In June 2020, Miz or Mac was released from prison, following his 2017 arrest with Blanco. Chicago. Upon being released, he hit the studio and dropped his track titled Return of the Mac, where he showed love to his fallen friends. Rapping, life's really been about threes and RIPs. It's turning me mad. When I think about Biss, I scream. I try go sleep. Then I see Lats. This release was massive for Mr. Mac, currently sitting on just under 8 million views. However, Mr. Mac wouldn't stay out of the eyes of the law for long. And in November 2020, he was arrested and charged for aiming a gun at a police officer, getting sentenced to 9 years. As of most recently, in December 2021, a Harlem member known as Wars would be killed in a car accident. He is often mourned and remembered by members of the Harlem Spartans, and is thought to have been one of Lowski's closest friends. Rest in peace, Wars. Now, Lowski was actually released from prison in September 2024, where he has since gone on to release a video titled 48 Hours with Lowski. Following his release, as well as a track titled Ashes, I do hope that Lowski stays out of trouble and can help his friends gain the recognition they deserve in the UK drill scene. As if the tragic story of Harlem Spartans has taught you anything, it should be that this road life isn't worth it.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's not even about the rise and the fall, bro. Because it's really just because he really just telling me about the pros and cons about being in the game. This happened with every game, every single game. Especially every single hot game. You get motherfuckers in your game that's actually special individuals. They bring your game, they elevate your game to a different level. Then they either die young, go to jail because they have no real direction, or they fall off because they've been used and abused so much that you took all their energy, they don't have no more. They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So, hey man, if you like the video, you like the video. Even if you don't like the video, like that shit anyways, turn that notification bell on after you sub to the channel. Easy measly, is free 99, so do that for your boy. Drop the cheese down in the comments, drop some recommendations, drop some reactions, do what you gotta do. You already know what it is. Indoctrinate yourself into men them, and then we can take off from there. 5K on the way. We're gonna be right back with another mother sucking video.